After the events of the two previous parts, the story focuses on Newt's struggle with the villain Grindelwald. Grindelwald was able to gather a lot of magic followers who want to destroy the human world. He also enlisted the dangerous young wizard, Credence. The third part of the film begins with the good wizard Dumbledore, who is sitting in a restaurant, waiting. The surprise is that he is waiting for his childhood friend, the evil Grindelwald. I don't know why they changed the actor. Grindelwald tries to convince Dumbledore to stand with him on the side of the wizards to destroy the world of humans and rule the earth. However, Dumbledore insists on remaining on the right side and tries to convince Grindelwald to abandon this idea. But he fails. Grindelwald declares, "I will burn their world," and leaves, causing the restaurant to ignite. This entire scene was in Dumbledore's imagination, a virtual meeting of their making. The chain containing the blood pact wraps around his arm. Simultaneously, Newt is walking beside a river with the Qilin, the magical creature, heading to a high place in a very remote area in the forest mountains. They hear the sound of the creature they came to search for. Newt follows the sound and reaches the magical creature, which resembles a magical gazelle. The surprise is that she is giving birth. She stands up after giving birth to a small creature. Newt came on a special mission to take this legendary, rare, and awesome animal inside his suitcase. Like the rest of his animals, when he opens the suitcase, he doesn't notice the arrival of the villain Grindelwald's followers. They strike and kill the mother. Newt quickly casts a protection shield, but it turns out that Credence also arrived because he wants the same creature. Newt quickly begins to escape with it, falls among the trees, and then continues running with the gazelle. They are continuously shooting at him. One follower tries to take the creature from him, but Newt hits her and continues to escape among the trees. They fire the last shot, and he falls from above, descending into the heart of the water with the creature. They all emerge on the bank, but Newt is clearly unconscious from the hit and is unable to resist Credence or prevent him from taking the creature. Credence takes the creature in his flexible bag. It is clear that this creature is very special and hides a secret. Newt wakes up and goes to the mother, who is in her last breaths. He sits beside her and says, "I am sorry." But he is surprised to find that she also gave birth to another creature. She was pregnant with twins. The mother then dies, shedding a tear. Newt opens his suitcase, and the little Niffler comes out to him. Seeing Newt like this, the Niffler quickly descends inside the suitcase again to call the magical bird. The bird indeed comes out while Newt is sleeping and begins to blow air into itself more and more until it flies with its small wings and grabs everything with its tail. It then spreads its body and begins to fly with them, starting the return journey. Meanwhile, at the villain's castle, Credence, who was sent to retrieve the special creature, is met by Grindelwald. Grindelwald tells him, "This one is very special. Her eyes see everything, and she is the one who chooses the purest person to be the ruler." Grindelwald wants the creature so he can become the ruler. He tells Credence to rest so that he can be alone with the special creature. Immediately, he slaughters it in front of Queenie, who has joined this villain after he deceived her with a few words, as he does with all his followers. On the other side, Newt and his big brother Theseus go to the small village. Newt asks the restaurant owner about Dumbledore, and the owner tells him, "My brother is waiting for you upstairs." Newt is shocked for the first time that he has a brother. Theseus is continuously wiping a mirror, and you will soon know its secret. Dumbledore brought Theseus there to tell him about the pact. He shows him the blood pact chain he made with his lifetime friend, the evil Grindelwald. This chain is what prevents him from fighting him now. He tells him, "I was stupid when I made it with him." The problem is that if he even thinks of fighting Grindelwald, the chain itself will attack him, wrap around his body, and strangle him until it kills him, as it was doing now. Dumbledore then explains to Theseus that the world will change if they do not act, because Grindelwald wants to start a war between ordinary humans and the world of wizards. He offers Theseus a chance to stand with them against Grindelwald. Theseus agrees. On the other side, Credence, the lost son who does not know his family, has dark magic known as an obscurus inside him. Queenie, who can read minds, comes to him. He says, "He sent you to spy on me, right?" She replies, "No, he only wants to know what you think." He asks her, "Then what do you see?" She replies, "You continuously think about his words because he told you that you are from the Dumbledore family and that he threw you out and abandoned you because he was ashamed of you. That's why he told you that you must kill him." He asks her to leave, but she says, "I don't tell him everything," and then she leaves. Here, he finds a message on the mirror, "Forgive me," written by someone. This is Jacob, who was abandoned by his girlfriend, Queenie, when she went with the villain Grindelwald. Jacob's shop is now empty, and his spirit is extinguished, and he is sad. The surprise is that he sees Queenie coming to visit him in the shop, and he cannot believe it. He tells her, "I missed you," and hugs her, but he ends up hugging the air. Outside in the street, someone suddenly appears, and some young men begin to bother her. She tells them, "It would be better if you raised your hands a little. I would be more afraid." One of them starts to do so. Jacob, seeing what is happening, comes out quickly with a pan. When he finds them gathered around her, he tells them, "Come on, hit me." Then Lally stands up, fixing him, revealing that this was originally a prank on Jacob. Lally has been trying for a while to convince Jacob to help them in their war, because he is the only ordinary human who knows everything about the world of wizards, and he is also Newt's friend. Jacob, the extinguished man, tells her, "No, I like this pan. I have no need for that, and you are better without me." She starts to tell him, "No, you are the ordinary human the world needs most currently because you were able to hide a lot, but you didn't do so in the previous parts." He agrees, and she immediately checks him and fixes him up completely with a little magic. Afterwards, she brings out her book to transport them, as she does every time. On the train, the team gathers, consisting of Yusuf Kama, Newt, his brother Theseus, Jacob, and then Lally arrives, along with Newt's assistant, Bunty, who is raising his creatures. Newt introduces Lally to everyone except his brother Theseus. Theseus says, "Newt, introduce me." It is clear that their relationship is still not good. Newt begins to explain the reason for their presence, telling them first that Dumbledore sent them a message stating that the villain Grindelwald can see glimpses of the future, meaning he will know any plan they make. Therefore, we must confuse him, and the best thing we do is not make a plan, he says. Afterwards, he tells Jacob that Dumbledore sent him a gift, a magical wand made of rare wood, and also something for his brother Theseus. However, the cute Niffler is unwilling to leave it. Dumbledore sent him a tie with a shiny piece, and the little thief loves shiny things. Bunty has a message that no one can read except her, and afterwards, it burns. When he comes to talk to Kama, he says, "No, I know that I need it." Jacob asks him, "Where is Tina?" He tells him, "She became head of the Ministry of Magic in America and is very busy." Theseus says, "Safe meaning this is the team that will defeat the most dangerous wizard we have fought. What luck this is." They arrive at their destination in Germany, and the non-plan begins. Bunty takes the suitcase from Newt and tells him, "No one must know anything, not even you." She takes the most precious thing with her and leaves. Kama also leaves at the same time. The four stand, pass through the wall, and go to the Ministry of Magic in Germany. Newt tells them, "We must move quickly. A poster of Grindelwald wanted for arrest is hanging here." They pass through the crowds who are continuously cheering the candidates for the elections. Grindelwald's followers are among these people, and their appearance precedes them. They enter the tea party because Newt wants to reach Vogel, the head of the German Ministry of Magic. Newt goes and tells him, "I have an urgent message from a friend," and tells him, "Do the right thing, even if it's not easy." Vogel thanks him and leaves to begin his speech to all the important attendees at the party. He tells them, "In the coming hours, we will choose a president for the entire wizarding world between two people, Liu Tao and Santos." He adds, "By the way, we must hear all voices, good and bad." They find that the villain's followers are present around them everywhere. The shock now is that Vogel officially announces the acquittal of the evil wizard Grindelwald from all charges against him. Theseus goes to arrest Grindelwald's followers, but is fooled from behind, and they are the ones who arrest him. Before his brother Newt can reach him and save him, Lally pulls him and tells him, "No, we are on their land here, and we will not be able to defeat them." They quickly leave the place. At the same time, Dumbledore and his brother are sitting in their miserable lives, talking about their sister who died because of them before, when they were fighting. It is clear that his brother does not like to talk about the past, and he looks very affected. The news of what happened in Germany reaches them. At the same time, Aberforth finds a message being written on the glass again and quickly erases it before his brother knows. But Dumbledore saw the message too. He tells him, "Aberforth, don't ask," and leaves. What was written was, "You know the feeling of loneliness." Meanwhile, Grindelwald receives the news that he is now free. He tells his assistant, "So we will leave tomorrow morning, and someone will visit us." She asks him, "Are you sure that Credence will be able to kill Dumbledore?" He replies to her, "His power is in the quill he has." Newt goes to ask about his kidnapped brother at the German Ministry of Magic. The annoying employee says, "Your brother was not under our protection." Jacob sees the same followers of the villain he saw at the party and quickly runs after them to get Theseus back. But the door closes in their face. They come out confused about what to do until the portkey arrives to take them to Dumbledore. Dumbledore tells Newt the name of the prison where his brother is and gives him permits to enter and visit him. Afterwards, he tells Lally, "Go to the party tonight and take Jacob with you, because there will be an assassination attempt there." Dumbledore is waiting for a guest to arrive. Before Newt leaves, Dumbledore reassures him about his precious suitcase, which is currently with Bunty. He went to a professional suitcase maker and asked him to make 6 copies of it. Here, Kama comes to the villain's place to meet him. They know that he is the brother of Leda, whom Grindelwald killed in the previous part. Kama tells him, "Dumbledore sent me to spy on you, but I chose to stand on your side." Grindelwald calls Queenie, who reads minds, and asks her, "Are his words correct?" She tells him, "He chose your side. Yes, but he still carries the guilt of his sister's death and cannot forget her." Grindelwald tells Kama, "Then allow me to rid you of these memories." He begins to extract Leda's memories from Kama's brain with tears, vaporizes them in the air, and tells him, "As long as you want to join us, come." Dumbledore feels what is happening behind him. It is Credence, who is intending evil. The two begin to talk. Dumbledore realizes that Credence is the one who is writing the messages on the glass mirror to his brother. Credence tells him, "I am from the same family. Your blood is my blood." Credence begins to unleash his Obscurus power and begins his attack on Dumbledore, fueled by anger and evil. Dumbledore repels it, moving from place to place and avoiding being hit. It is clear that Dumbledore's power is much stronger than Credence's. Dumbledore pulls him to an isolated place and tells him, "You shouldn't believe everything. He lied to you to make you hate me, nothing more." Credence tries to attack him again, but Dumbledore is much stronger and puts him to sleep on the water. He approaches him and tells him, "He lied to you, but our blood is indeed one. You are from my family." He apologizes to him because they did not know about him. They return to the real world, and he raises him from the ground. It is clear that every time Credence tries to reach his father, it turns out not to be his father. Newt arrives at the cursed prison to visit his brother. The guard takes his magical wand, the Qilin, the magical creature, and the little Niffler, Teddy, from him, placing them all in safekeeping. Afterwards, he lights a worm and puts it in the lantern because the world inside is dark. After he enters, an old man mocks him because Newt thinks he will leave the prison again. The villain Grindelwald goes to Germany amid the cheers of the crowds and descends among them to hear the chant of the people who have become his followers. Vogel also announces that Dumbledore will run for the presidency. Newt enters the prison and senses something. He finds a scorpion-like creature next to him, and they keep increasing around him. He finds a large hole behind him from which a terrifying sound is coming. He quickly makes a movement to make all these terrifying creatures mimic him. The two, Lally and Jacob, arrive at the party. Lally focuses on one person only until the disheveled villain arrives. Jacob sees Queenie walking with him, but she is not paying any attention to him. Newt continues walking, constantly shaking his waist. He goes to his brother Theseus, followed by an army of scorpions continuously mimicking him. He must not stop at all, so they don't attack him. Suddenly, a huge tail comes from behind, sniffing him. As soon as the lantern of the man next to them is extinguished, a big scorpion tail comes out, pulls him under, and brings him out melted. These small creatures start eating him. Newt takes advantage of the distraction and descends to his brother. He finds the path full of a second quantity of the creatures. Newt blows with his hand and makes a sound to call the Qilin and the Niffler. He makes the same movement again to make them mimic him. He and his brother continue walking, twisting their waists around them to make the creatures mimic them. Suddenly, one lantern near them goes out, and the tail comes and takes him under too, bringing him out again. Theseus and Newt continue walking. Queenie is crying, and Jacob is watching her until the villain comes and tells her to go to him. But not to Jacob, to Credence. He tells her to tell Credence, "It's not a problem that you lost in the fight." She passes by again, not paying attention to Jacob. Lally sees the criminal, who wants to kill one of the candidates with poison in the juice. Lally makes the juice fly and throws it on the door, melting it. Here, Jacob goes to the villain himself and tells him, "Leave Queenie alone." One of the men says about him, "This is a hired killer." Lally controls Jacob's hand and raises it up. She also creates a storm and starts doing all the work, turning the world upside down. Jacob thinks he is the one doing this, but he sees the villain's men coming. Lally sends him a ladder of paper to climb and run quickly. She goes to him, meets him, takes him with her, and transports them from the place. Here, the little Niffler grabs the prison guard by the tie he stole from Theseus so he won't wake up. The Qilin brings Newt's magical wand, but the guard shouts, the tie unties, and falls to the ground. The Niffler jumps to catch the Qilin that is falling, but the Qilin turns out to be after the money. Newt is still walking. The problem is that his brother steps on one of the scorpions, and his lantern goes out. The big head comes out from behind them now. The two begin to escape from it everywhere. It continuously throws fire at them and chases them, besieging them from every side. They keep running. It continuously chases them with its many tails. They continuously escape from place to place among the tunnels that are collapsing on them until it pulls Theseus by the waist. The Niffler comes running with his magical wand, and the old man comes behind him, chasing the Niffler. The good Qilin flies with the magical wand to Newt, who is holding his brother. Newt grabs the wand and pulls the Niffler with the tie. The Niffler descends behind them, and then the old man's lantern goes out. They grab the tie at the last moment and are able to transport with it to another place. They find themselves in front of Newt's old magical school. When they go, they find out what Jacob did, and he becomes very famous among the children, who love him. Dumbledore tells them, "What you did was right, and he is happy. But there is a problem. The villain himself is running for the elections because of Vogel." Dumbledore then makes some work with smoke to show them the next place where the elections will be held, the Himalayas Mountains. They go to Aberforth's house in the village. When they sit down for dinner, Jacob sees the special Qilin. He tells Newt this creature is special and can distinguish people's hearts and chooses only the pure heart. The Qilin is now playing with Jacob and loves him very much. It is known that it also bows to the person it chooses. In the past, they used it to choose the president in the elections. Newt sees a message on the mirror. "I want to return home." He goes to tell Dumbledore and overhears him telling his brother Aberforth, "This is your son," referring to Credence. Newt enters and tells him, the mirror has a message written on it. Dumbledore knows it is from Credence and tells him that his brother loved someone in a far place in the past and did not know that she was pregnant with his son. Now, Credence is in a very dangerous time because this is his end due to the evil energy inside him. Now, the villain takes the special Qilin he killed and descends with it into the water to mutter some words, making it wake up again, like a zombie. When he brings it out of the water, he sees a vision in the water that there is another one. He angrily tells Credence, "Two were born." Credence says, "I don't know." Grindelwald immediately attacks him and pins him to the wall, telling him, "This is your second mistake. I will not allow you to make another mistake. This is your last attempt. Go and manage to bring the other creature. It is now with Newt." Grindelwald descends with the zombie Qilin inside the suitcase to hide it. Afterwards, he goes to Bunty, who has placed 5 suitcases in front of them, one of which is supposed to be real and the rest fake. Wait, they were supposed to be 6, not 5. Dumbledore tells them, "Each of you choose a suitcase to confuse Grindelwald's group." He tells Jacob to choose first and come with him. The two transport away. Newt goes with a suitcase afterwards. Then Lally and the rest follow. This is the place where the secret Wizarding World elections are held. Vogel, the fraud, tells them, "For the elections to be fair, we will let the special creature, the Qilin, choose by itself." Under the mountain in the village, all the people are coming to attend. But Grindelwald's followers are everywhere and are chasing the two, Dumbledore and Jacob, everywhere. Dumbledore tells Jacob, "I will leave you here now. And don't worry, the suitcase you have is empty, not real." The rest of the group, each in a different direction, try to escape from the followers until Theseus arrives at Lally's side. The two quickly attack these wizards, and with their professionalism, they defeat them one after the other with ease. But not for long. The two are restrained, and their suitcases are taken from them. Then it is Newt's turn. Jacob luckily arrives and hits the two followers. When they start chasing him, he keeps running and leaves the suitcase for them in the end. Now they have 3 suitcases. When they open the first 2, they find books, and the third contains sweets. These things start increasing wildly everywhere. Aberforth arrives at the place for his son Credence, who looks very tired now. Jacob is pulled by his arm and finds that it is Queenie, who continuously tells him, "Escape from this place," but he cannot believe that he has finally found her. They are exposed and caught. Upstairs, Newt is walking out onto the corridor with his suitcase until someone comes to him and tells him, "Come with me from this path. It will take us up." He asks her, "Who are you?" She tells him, "I am a follower of Dumbledore," but he suspects her, and she indeed turns out to be a liar and a follower of the villain. She fools him from behind, hits him, and steals the suitcase from him. The two, Comma and another, were waiting. The followers come to them with Comma the traitor, but Comma turns on them and defeats them all. Afterwards, Newt wakes up among the people and quickly starts running up. The elections begin with the creature, but the zombie Chillin passes by the two candidates and goes to the villain Grindelwald. Newt runs and takes the suitcase from her, but it evaporates. The Chillin has chosen the villain. All the people begin to cheer him. Grindelwald brings Queenie and Jacob and tells them, "Look at this ordinary human who tried to kill me. He wants to marry one of us, and there are many people like him." He immediately hits Jacob and casts a spell on him, telling the crowd, "Our war on them began today." The female candidate stands up and frees Jacob from the spell. Here, Credence arrives and begins to expose everything, telling them, "This creature is originally dead, and he did this to it." Newt also comes out, confirming his words, and tells them, "On the night this creature was born, two were born." Grindelwald asks him, "Where is your evidence?" Suddenly, in an unexpected way, the real suitcase arrives with Bunty, and it contains the second creature. When the creature looks at its dead brother, Newt says, "Sorry, forgive me, she can't hear you." Vogel, the fraud, grabs the zombie and tells them, "This is the real one," but it dies in his hand. The voting must be done again. The real Chillin now passes and does not choose Grindelwald. It descends and goes to Dumbledore, who keeps telling it, "No, choose someone else." So it leaves him and goes to the female candidate. When the Chillin does not come to Grindelwald, he attacks. Credence stands up for him and fires at him, but his father and uncle both defend him. The chain accidentally unties from Dumbledore immediately, and the blood pact is broken. Dumbledore can now attack Grindelwald, and the two indeed begin to fight together, attacking each other. Dumbledore continuously increases his power because he is the strongest wizard present. They continue attacking each other until Dumbledore leaves, not wanting to kill him, and tells him, "You are alone." Everyone celebrates the new president of the wizarding world. As soon as they gather around Grindelwald and pin him, he immediately repels their strikes and flees the place. Aberforth takes his son with him after explaining to him that he did not know about his existence, and everything becomes very good. Dumbledore says that the chain untied because he was not attacking Grindelwald. He was defending Credence. When their powers met, the chain of the pact finally untied. In the end, Jacob returns to his life and runs his sweets shop. His life sweetens, and he marries Queenie. This is the end of the trilogy, and everything becomes like honey. We will meet in a new recap. Thank you for watching.